Welcome back. In this mini challenge we're going to create a temperature converter app. It can be as simple or as creative as you would like, but this is what I've come up with just as an example. It's a simple HTML form which takes the user's input and then we can convert it to Celsius or to Fahrenheit using JavaScript. So do try it and see what you can come up with. Otherwise follow along with me and I'll show you how I created this. So let's get started by creating a folder for the project in the DOM section. So this is number 3 and this is the temperature converter. Okay, and then let's open it up in brackets and we can get started. Okay, so the title is temperature converter. And let's delete all the sample code from the previous videos. Okay, so I'm going to begin with the HTML section. So I'm just going to create a bootstrap HTML form. So let's start outside the script tags. So let's create a container, which is a bootstrap code. And then let's create a bootstrap row. And then let's use a bootstrap grid. So call SM6. So if you're using the Emmet plugin like me, you should be able to get this created pretty fast. If not, you'll need to type this out with the classes. And also to center this div, we'll add the call SM offset, which will offset the grid by 3 and place it in the center. The bootstrap class of text center, which will keep everything nicely aligned in the middle. And then lastly, I created a content class, and this is going to be used to style it in the CSS. Okay, so let's begin with a level 2 heading, which is just the title of our app, which is temperature converter. And then let's create our form. Okay, so because we're using Bootstrap, let's create a div with a class of form group. And this will make sure everything's nicely laid out. So within the form group, let's create a input with the type of number. And this is a section where the user can enter the number that they want to convert to Celsius or Fahrenheit. So the ID, I'm going to set to user input. And in fact, we'll give this a label. So label 4 for the user input ID. Let's close the sidebar. Okay, so let's save and let's check that's working okay. There we go, so there's our heading and the input. So let's just complete the label now. So let's put in enter your number to convert. Just like that, and then refresh, and there we go. So there's the text from the label. So now I'm going to place 2 more buttons inside the form, which is for the Celsius or Fahrenheit. So let's put them inside now. So I'm going to place these inside a new div or form group. And then the first input is a type of button. And then the text inside, we'd add that with the value of 2 Celsius. And then we want this button to actually do something when the user presses it. So we want to create an on-click event, which will trigger a function. And we'll look at events more in the next video. But for now, just create a on-click event with the on-click keyword. And then inside the quotations, we add the name of the function that we want to trigger once this button is pressed. So I'm going to create a function called 2 Celsius. And then we need the brackets after that. So copy and paste or duplicate this. And this one is 2 Fahrenheit. And then the function is 2 Fahrenheit. And let's just take a look. Great, so there's our 2 buttons on there. And the last thing we need to do is to create a empty div, which we want to display the text of the temperature conversion. So just like the finished version, We're going to create a text field at the bottom where the conversion appears. So outside the form, I'm just going to put this in an empty p tag with the ID of result. And that's all we need for now in the HTML. So let's now just move to the top and we'll add some styling to our form. So back up in the head section, let's create some style tags. So if you remember, down in the div which contains all the content, we added a content class. So let's add that now inside the style tags. And then let's add some simple styles. So let's add a border, 1 pixel and solid. We'll add some rounded corners with a border radius. I'm going to have mine as 10 pixels. Some margin top just to keep it away from the top of the screen, of 30 pixels. And then a background color of the grey color, which is EEE. And then let's take a look. And then I just want to add the background color, which you can see on the final version there. So let's go back into the CSS and let's style the body section. Okay, so to get the background, I'm just going to add a linear gradient to the background. So linear gradient. And then inside the brackets, we can add 2 right. And then let's add the 2 colors to blend in. So first of all, it's red. And then the second color is blue. So it will start with red. And then as it goes to the right, it will change to blue. So go into the browser and there's our gradient on the background. Okay, so that looks better. So don't forget, if this is a live production site, you may want to add some browser prefixes to the linear gradient just for cross-browser compatibility. So now that's the HTML, CSS all finished for the user interface. So I'm just going to leave this video there and we'll finish this off in the next video where we'll add the JavaScript and make our temperature converter fully functional.